time and be part of this game day, something that you wanted for a while?
Just doing the job at that point, right? Just calling the first play and then calling the second one. But that's all I'll be thinking about.
How do you keep your players in that same mindset for such a big game and calm their nerves and not think too far ahead?
Well, it's leadership. It's living that and showing them that this is how we operate under pressure. Also by putting the pressure on them during practice, right? And then what I tell them on game day is all their mistakes are on me. So during the week, I make sure they know about their mistakes, and I'm hard on them. But on game day, all their mistakes on me because if they're not ready, it's my fault.
We go over here to the far right, Coach Nathan Baird, Cleveland.com.
Jim, what does Iliano particularly bring to the staff? You want a safety pair of defense, so you probably needed a specific person to lead that position. How does he do that, and what else does he bring to that group?
He's a very smart coach, great attitude, always learning, has experience in similar systems, aggressive recruiter, really does it all. He's able to have opinions, valuable opinions for me in terms of game planning and managing our safeties and what they can do, what they can do best.
And for you, you're right here to obviously implement a scheme, but also to maybe make some more mindset changes to this whole defense too. How inextricable were those two things? Do you feel like changing the scheme brings the other thing? Do you see those as two separate goals that you have to try to achieve?
No, it's all one thing. You're installing your scheme, but the whole time you're building a mindset. You're building a mindset of excellence, and this is how we do it, and this is how we're going to do it every day, and we're going to do it on the grass in practice, and that's how the game's going to go. So it really is about expectations. Once the players know that you care, they'll go to the wall for you, and I believe we're at that point.
Front row right, Austin Ward, Rivals, 97.1 The Fan.
Jim, some coordinators like to be on the sideline and be down there with the guys. Some like the quiet to call games from the box. As Ryan said, you've done both. Which way do you think you prefer this year?
I prefer what works best. So I have done both, and that's still under discussion. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a half up and a half down. Who knows?
Did you think that you would have already worked that out before Saturday, or is this?
I've got it worked out. I'm just not telling you. That's all.
Well, we're gonna see you.
Okay. Well, then you'll see.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Front row left, Dave Biddle, 24/7 Sports.
Hi, Jim. Not a lot of film on their starting quarterback. How does that affect preparation? Are you even going back and watching some of his high school film? Just how does that affect your preparation?
I don't go back to high school, but he's played some. So, we've scouted him like you would and done our due diligence. But it is a first game. So really it comes back to your training because you have to be ready for everything, and you have to be able to adjust.
Fourth row middle, Pat Murphy, 24/7 Sports.
Jim, Marcus Freeman said yesterday that they look back at the Fiesta Bowl last year because that was the defense you created, but they also understand new personnel. You're going to do some different things here. How much are you aware of them watching that when you are planning for this game in particular, or does that not matter and you just focus on what you guys want to do?
No, I'm aware. It's a good game to have, to be able to look at it from both sides, what Oklahoma State did and what our opponent did. So, but it's just another game. Now, you may glean more from it because of the aspects of game planning that go on both sides, but it's just one in many games that you look at.
Front row right, Tim May, Letterman Row.
Jim, I have a saying that no one ever covers the tight end or rarely covers the tight end consistently. That's just me. But when you look at a tight end like Mayer, what is sort of the secret to sort of like neutralizing or taking him out of a game without like robbing Peter to pay Paul?
You have to mix it up. You have to blend in different coverages and people who are on him coming from different directions. He's an excellent player. He's an NFL player. He has that ability to lean into the coverage, find the open spot. So it is about knowing where he is at all times and making sure that we're changing it up enough with him to keep him off balance.
What are you surprised offenses don't throw the tight end as much as maybe it looks like they should? I mean, does it ever surprise you from your vantage point?
You seem like you have a thing about tight ends. Is that?
I just think me and Tom Brady, yeah. I just think they're underutilized a lot in the passing game from the standpoint of.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion. I just look at who we're playing and what they do. And these guys have a great tight end, so we need to make sure we have a game plan for it.
Thanks, man. Over here to the far right, Adam King, WBNS 10 TV.
Coach, when you look 4 days till the actual game, how ready is this defense?
We're ready. We're 100% ready to go.
This is your first time running into the shoe. It's a top 5 matchup at a night game. Are you going to take a moment before kick to kind of appreciate where you are?
No, I'm gonna stay focused and in a locked-in mindset and do my job. That's what the players need.
Fourth row right, Spencer Holbrook, Letterman Row.
Jim, when you first got here and you take a look at the personnel that you've got available to you, you see Denzel, what he did as a true freshman. Now, carrying into year 2, where have you seen him from when you saw him in January to now take the biggest step in his development?
His feet, his confidence, breaking on the ball. He started out as a very good player, and now I believe he has the potential to be a great player and to compete on a national stage. And when you can say that about your corner, then you're in good shape as a defense.
You had really good corners last year in your defense that finished 3rd nationally. You talk about how it's a safety-driven defense. People talk about the defensive line, making sure to get after it. But just how important is good cornerback play and what you want to do?
They're on an island. It's a safety-driven defense, but that's only because you have great corners, that you can kind of put into isolation at times. We try to give them help. We try to keep the disguise concept enough so that the offense doesn't know when the corner is getting help and when he's not. But it's extremely important to the defense that those guys are competitive and confident in making plays.
And we're getting ready to wind her down. Second row right, Doug Lesmaurice, Cleveland.com.
I don't know if you'll answer this or not, given the previous no, but you've been in this business 35 years. You've been at some great places. Not that you're going to think about it when you take the field Saturday night, but in the preparation for this game, when you've been getting ready for this, what part has felt the same of everything you've ever done in your life? What part has felt different? I mean, this is a top 5 matchup to open the season at a place like this, and on some level it is a different experience for you, at least. How would you describe what it's been like?
It's the same process. The expectations are different. The expectations are different. So, but that hasn't changed what I do or how I do it. It's there. So you stay locked in, maybe even more than I have in the past, I'll think about all the nice parts about it when I get old and I can sit back and relax a little bit. But right now it's just, you're right, the expectations are high and the players expect you to be their leader and be locked in, and that's what I'm going to do.
Thank you.
Front row middle, Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
Yeah, that's my question. You said
You want me to answer it again?
No. I could audible. Why do you say that your defense is 100% ready? What makes you think that?
Well, we've put them through the crucible. We go against the nation's best offense every day. We've pushed and prodded and poked and tried to stretch them as far as they can go, right? So wherever they're at right now, it's 100%. And that's what I dial the game plan into. So yeah, I'm confident.
Second row left, Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
I don't even know if you'd be able to answer this, but as a defensive guy, during your career, have you always been aware of when you're playing a first-time starting quarterback, and is there a benefit to it for you guys as a defensive play caller?
I've always been aware. I don't think there's a benefit. You know, I think that it's kind of a wild card, and you know you don't know what to expect as much, and you really got to be ready for everything.
So it almost is like more anxiety than it is. Maybe that's not the right word.
Yeah, who said anxiety? No, it's just you know, you fall back, I think, more onto your system, and you know, because you really don't know what to expect.
Right next door, Steve Hellwagen, 24/7 Sports.
Yeah, Coach, I'm curious, the 4 weeks of preseason, is there anybody from a personnel standpoint that coming out of the spring you were like lukewarm on, but has now had such a great 4 weeks of practice that they're in the plan this week? Just
Well, you know, yeah, I've been talking about Lathan Ransom, right, because he was out, and he's just had a great camp. I mean, to come off an injury like that and to do some of the things that he's done in practice, you know, when you watch the film, I think anybody can see that he really jumps out because he has that intuitive feeling for where the ball's going to be, and he gets after it.
from our standpoint, it looks like you have 3 frontline defensive ends with Tui Maloau, Sawyer, and Zach Harrison back. How will that rotation go? And I assume there's other guys in that mix too, but just figure only 2 guys are going to start, but not get wrapped up in that.
That might be 2, might be 3, might be 4 DNs in there. You know, we have a lot of depth. Coach Johnson handles that, and I'm behind playing them all as much as possible. We're going to keep them fresh and keep attacking.
Right behind him, Bill Landis, Rivals.
Jim, when you first got here and got the chance to work with Steele for the first time, did he appear to you like a guy who was still trying to figure out linebacker, or where do you think he was there, and then what kind of growth have you seen over the last few months?
Yeah, I mean, Steele, he's growing every day into the position. You know, he continues to be in work in progress. He's always learning. He's into it. You know, we have some back and forth, which is good. So yeah, he's just been a guy since I've arrived that's gotten better. You know, all the time.
He does not seem hesitant to speak his mind, I guess, or at least when he's talking to us. I'm assuming he's that way when he's with you as well. What's it like to coach a guy like that who wants to have that back and forth?
He's not as quite that much with me, you know, but he will every now and then, and yeah, that's refreshing, you know. Like I said before, with Jack Sawyer, I mean, I'm from Philly, so I like guys that can give and take and aren't afraid to do that, and that means that you have a good relationship. At least that's the way I look at it.
Bill's from Philly too, just FYI. Final question is over here, 3rd row right. Are we good with that? Bill, you're good, right? Yeah. All right.
That's right.
3rd row right, last set of questions. Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
Jim, you strike me as a cerebral guy, more of a thinker than a rah-rah guy. How do you motivate? Do you consider yourself an emotional motivator, or how do you look at that whole topic?
I mean, there's times to be emotional, and there's times to be steady. You know, so I think any good motivator reads the room, reads the situation, and you're able to amp it up and amp up the juice and the volume when you feel like it needs to be that way. Most of the other time, motivation comes from teaching and teaching and teaching and reteaching, right? And then you gain the respect that you know what you're talking about. So you give them a reason to do it, and you kind of show them how it works, and that's motivation, because you're showing them, you're teaching them, and then you're showing them a reason, like, this is why we do it. This is the why. And usually that's enough. And if not, I can get loud.
Great. Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jim.